I mean, if you want to come a bit closer, feel free. There's two able to see you a bit closer. If your phones can be off for me, that'd be absolutely fantastic. Feel free to take photos and publicise it online. Free promotion, we'll be very grateful. And let's see if this is going to be effective.
Testing, 1, 2, 3. Fantastic. Okay, wow. I am so grateful for all of you to be spending your, Wednesday evening here with me. I'm so grateful that you saw the ad and decided, you know what, that's actually something that I'd like to go to. And I'm grateful that you turn up for yourself, because I really do believe that the information tonight, even if you take one little bit away, can really change your life, because it has changed my life. I'm holding nothing back in the sense that this is 12 years of self-development, about $1 million in learnings, $250,000 in actual self-development, and then businesses around the world, shamans, medicine, lots of healings, a ridiculous amount of stuff. And so yeah, I'm going to basically giving you a fire hose of information. I hope it's not too much. I've actually reduced the amount of information in it because we do only have 2 hours. Technically, we're probably going to go over, so hopefully you don't expect to get out of here at 8:30, maybe more like 8:45, 9, if that's okay. If you do need to leave, then that's okay as well. Do it quietly, if you could, to ensure that others can be focused. How are we all feeling tonight? Great! Yeah, the engagement, that's fantastic. Yeah. Thank you, I appreciate that. I'd love a bit more of that engagement throughout the evening. So, my name is Quin. I would call myself a spiritual entrepreneur. I am here in Brisbane because I was transiting through for a week to see my family, and I'm off to Vanuatu to see my father for 3 weeks, and then I'm back off to northern Thailand. So this is literally one time only. I was speaking to Aldwyn, who's a friend. I've got heaps of friends in the room, so I'm very grateful for you all to be here. I'm very grateful for the new individuals that I've never met before to be here. But I'm like, hey, listen, why don't I do an event while I'm here? So I've been doing this online, but I much prefer face-to-face. This is the first time I'm ever doing this face-to-face, and this is brand new information. If you do get triggered, I do apologise, but it's a good thing, okay? It's a very good thing. If you do go, oh, I don't really know about this information, try to sit with it. Try to sit with it and, okay, well, why am I a bit against this information, or why is this creating friction myself? So to get us into a bit of a state, first of all, we're going to do a small breathing activity. If anyone feels uncomfortable with this, feel free to just sit there in silence, but you may as well do it because, well, we're here. And we're just going to do a box breath. Now, the box breath is for me and you. It's going to help me calm my autonomous nervous system, and it's going to help you calm your autonomous nervous system. If you didn't know, every single one of us have a heightened state of fight, flight, or freeze. Our nervous system is all the time because of the environment that we're in. And if we don't start reducing the nervous system and actually calming the nervous system, then basically we're going to have a whole bunch of different issues that pop up that the doctors will tell you it's over here, and we'll give you some poison to help you cover that. And I really mean that. So, who here has already done breath work in the past? Oh, fantastic. Okay, for the rest of you, it's really, really simple. First of all, I just want to explain this. I'm going to go on little diversions. 1, we can go a month without eating food. 2, we can go a week without drinking water for most of us. 3, we can probably go how many minutes without oxygen, without breath?
3 or 4.
3 minutes. So for most of us, probably like, I don't know, 2 minutes, maybe a minute and a half, you know. It turns out that life force that we breathe in, that we cannot live without a minute and a half, we can increase the capacity of that life force in our blood. And when you increase the capacity of your life force in your blood, guess what happens? You become more powerful because you're increasing the capacity of life force in your body. So when I first understood this, holding your breath is not holding oxygen in your lungs. Holding your breath is storing oxygen in your blood, and holding the oxygen in your lungs allows your blood to extract the oxygen into it. And so this is the reason why we're going to breathe in the nose for 5 seconds, hold for 5 seconds. It's going to give the opportunity for the lungs to go, let's go, let's get it out. And then we're going to breathe out for 5 seconds, we're going to hold for 5 seconds. Now when you hold out for 5 seconds, you're actually increasing the capacity of blood in both your brain and your heart, which are two of the most important organs, and if either of them die, you die. So, we're just going to do literally probably maybe 5 of these because I'm running a bit already short of time. So with me, and breathe out. Breathe in through the nose. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathe out through the mouth. 2, 1. Hold. 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathe in. Fill up the stomach. Fill up the rib cage. 2, 1. Hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. When you release, allow the tension in the shoulders to release. 2, 1. Hold. 3, 2. When you breathe in next, I want you to breathe in. Imagine a love. Breathe in. Imagine breathing in love. Imagine a white line, literally breathing in love. 2, 1. Hold that. 3, 2, 1. Release. Hold. Breathe in. A little bit more. Hold. Release. Release the tension, release anything that doesn't serve you. Hold. Breathe in through the nose. A little bit more. We'll do 2 more. Hold. Let it out. Hold. And for this last breath, we're going to hold it for 15 seconds. Ready? Breathe in. Breathe in a little bit more. Expand the chest cavity. You're increasing the capacity of oxygen that your blood can hold, that your body can hold, that your blood can take out. And hold. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Okay. Fantastic. Come back to normal breath. I really appreciate you doing that with me. God, that feels good. I don't know about you, but really, it feels so good. So, I want you to, if you brought a pen and paper, please get it out and prepare it. There's going to be heaps of notes. If you have your phone, please get it out. Honestly, make notes. There is pens and paper up the back of the room as well. If anyone needs it, put your hand up. We can bring that to you. Great. Thank you, brother. Keep your hand up. And then, to begin with, I want you to connect in with your dream self. So it's like, okay, if you were given permission to dream of the largest dream that you ever wanted to dream of who you could become, imagine there was no limitations, and I like to call it BHAG, big, hairy, audacious goal. Where would I like to be, and who would I like to be? If it scares you, good, it should scare you. If it doesn't scare you, it's not dreaming large enough. Okay? We need to give our permission to be able to step through our own mental limitations to dream as large as we possibly can. So that's what I want to give you permission today for. So I want you to connect with your dream self. So the whole point of this presentation today is everything I see is unique to me. You know the rose-colored glasses? You know, lifting the rose-colored glasses, or they might say lifting the veil. Everything I see is unique to me. So how our perception of the world is entirely subjective and how that impacts you. Everything is subjective. Nobody sees like you do. And I'm going to explain why in this entire presentation. But before I do, I want to give you a bit of background. Where did this come from? Who am I? Where do I come from? You don't know me from a bar or so. Actually, I've got a few people in the room who knows me for 10, 15 years, which I'm very grateful for you all to be here. But at 13 years old, in Calabar, up in Queensland, sex, drugs and alcohol, and I was put in hospital twice, and I was kicked out of school for 30 days. And I was luckily sent over to New Zealand to the boarding school and a dairy farm that changed my life. I was basically in prison camp. Thankfully. At 16 years old, my father sent 20 copies of Think and Grow Rich. I took that as, read the fucking book. I did. I read one, I gave the rest of the copies to the library and my mates, and luckily that influenced their lives as well. But what it said to me was, hold on, I can actually do it. And it gave me the self-belief that I could do whatever I wanted in life. At 16 years old, very grateful to my father. After that, after leaving that, I went to university for 3 years and I dropped out. I went back to Australia because Dad put me into the best self-development there was that money could buy. I was in Tony Robbins, DeMartini, and a lot of individuals I know here from Business Blueprint, Dale Beaumont. And I had so many mentors in my life. I'm very, very lucky. And we're in a quarry. So I don't know if you know Sheldon Road, Mount Gravatt Quarry, since you're all from the local place. That was my family business. So my father had me sorting commercial waste by hand at 16 years old. I know how to drive a 100-ton digger and weld. All skills that I didn't think I'd ever need again, but now I'm building a permaculture farm. So I was like, okay, I'm going to go into business. I got all this business education. I'm never going to use my hands ever again. And I'm going to be the top guy, you know, with all that ego behind me. And so since then, I've started 9 companies. I've had 4 exits. One of these companies, I was fortunate enough to speak at the Fuck Up Nights last night. It's the reason why I started this. I'm like, you know, I may as well have a couple of speaking events while I'm here. We raised $350 million to build solar power plants on top of the largest rooftops around Australia. That was back in 2017, the end of 2019. From 2020 to 2023, I recently sold this. I started a mental health company over in the Philippines during the pandemic, and we were able to raise millions of dollars, got $500,000 grant from the Australian government, and by the time I sold it, we were looking after hundreds of thousands of individuals from the largest companies, and we had done over 12,000 hours of direct one-on-one therapy with licensed psychologists to the individuals. I learned a lot. I learned that I was full of shit. I really did. So I had a stigma. I mean, I've had every stigma you can possibly imagine that the Australian society comes with. If you're depressed, you're weak. If you're gay, you're bad. And I've had events in my life that have confronted me to all of these stigmas and have made me shift my perspective, and I'm very grateful for those confrontations. So today is all about, well, how do we change our mind? ReProgram to ReInvent. With all this education, and I read 100 books and I really thought I knew something, really I didn't know anything. It's 2020 before I left Australia, so I've spent the last 5 years traveling around the world. I've done 16 countries, lived in 4, spoken to thousands of individuals and spent hundreds of hours in meditation, hundreds of hours in plant medicine ceremonies, now taking hundreds of individuals through the same process. But I've lost 20 kilos, it's not 18 anymore, it's 20 kilos. I'm happier, healthier, more present. I'm traveling the world, I have better relationships with all the individuals around me, including all my family. Things don't piss me off anymore. It's so nice. I've been able to liberate from myself because I found out that it was myself holding myself back. It was me standing in my own way the entire time. And so, with that, I've also explored the world. So I've sat with shamans. This guy on the top left, he's a self-made billionaire. He was a London cab driver. Turns out that he's known about this the entire time, and I was too unaware to see it. So I remember back in 2017, 2018, him telling me things like, Cameron, you're not in control, and Cameron, there is no truth. And I'm like, wait, you know, I was told that the decisions we make consistently defines who we become, but doesn't that mean I'm in control? Turns out we're not in control. It's all an illusion. Everything in between us is all an illusion. I'm going to be talking about that more. Anyway, this guy in the top bottom left-hand corner, he's my late guru. Unfortunately, he passed away. He's been living this life for 30 years. And when I caught up with him after my whole awakening, he was like, we can talk. We can finally talk. He couldn't talk to anyone about this because this seems insane to most individuals, what I'm going to be talking about tonight. Bobby, can I ask to increase the, or make it colder in the room, please, for a little bit? I like to go into crazy places, so this is across the border of Myanmar, to bring a ton of rice over to a whole bunch of small villages. We hiked for 11 hours after the bombing. This is a direct descendant of the shamans who looked after the Bhutanese king and queens back in the day. Turns out all of this is real. And then these are the shamans who actually woke me up. So this is a Marakame, and he gave me my rebirth event, which I'm very grateful for. Now, not only that, I've had doctors all around the world who have helped me, coaches all around the world who have helped me and helped me shift my perspective. So this information doesn't come with me. I have an entire science advisory board behind me who have helped me throughout this entire process, who have helped me remain sane throughout this entire process. Because everything I'm talking about tonight, 5 years ago, I would have locked someone up in the crazy house for saying. Luckily, times have changed. They're changing very quickly, and they're going to continue changing very quickly. And I really mean that. Seemingly, it's accelerating. That's the reason why I'm here. So, I hope you're excited. What we're going to be exploring today is understanding vibrations and frequencies and our limited bandwidth. We're going to be talking about our human technology, conscious and unconscious minds, the subjective reality model, and how our past determines how we see the world projected. We're going to discuss direct ways on how to improve one's life dramatically and how to basically reprogram one's neurology to see life differently. And then I'm also going to invite you to join the Freedom Collective, which is basically a program that I've started for helping individuals go on this journey who may not have the community around them or the information around them, and who just want to be a part of the ride. So, my own Sigma journey. This is the mental health company that I was one of the founders. You know, it's deprogramming cultural conditioning because, you know, the hard man Australian mentality is a difficult one to let go of. The ability to be able to sit and do nothing and not feel guilty for doing nothing as an Australian is quite a difficult thing I have understood for many individuals, including myself, because we were told, well, you know, if you're not working, you're not productive, then you're useless, you're not really part of society, you need to do things in order to be valuable. And then we have now conditional love. You know, our parents, well, you know, you've got to get up and do this, otherwise, you know, you'll lose my love. Some may disagree, and that's okay. So, I went into this purely for money. So what I realized is every single company that I've been in the past, I was integrating this information on a private beach over in the Philippines. By the way, I'm very lucky. Okay, so when I talk about my stories, I'm very, very lucky. So I'm on a private beach, Yong's private compound, integrating this stuff, and it dawns upon me that I believe that I need money to be free. Who else believes that? Come on, let's be real. I believe I need money to be free. We put freedom and money together. I need money to be able to do whatever I want, right? That's a fairly logical, rational way to see reality, this reality that we're currently in. What I realized and what dawned upon me at that point in time was that I don't have enough money, which also equals, well, I'm not free. Because if I put X, anything, in between me and freedom, that means if I don't have enough of it, well, I'm not free. And so what I'm actually projecting to the world is I'm not free. What else it means is, if I don't have enough money, what I'm saying is scarcity, fear, low vibrational frequencies. Now, if you know anything about emotions and vibrations and the fact that we are magnets attracting our entire reality toward us, if I'm in a low vibrational state, that's what I'm going to attract. And so when I realized this, I started crying. Because I realized that every single company that I said, I'm here to change lives. And I did say it, and I believed it. In the solar renewable energy company, I'm here to save the planet. I really believed it. And it's bullshit, because I was chasing freedom, I was chasing money, which means I was doing everything for money. I was doing nothing for the real reason, as I was saying, which is my unconsciousness making me blind. I don't know if you've ever seen the 3 Blind Monkeys. That's us. Every single one of us in the room. I promise you, none of us are above that. Every single one of us are blind, and I'm going to explain why. I'm going to continue to explain why. So, a part where this kind of shocked me was this guy. So I'm in the Philippines, taking massive amounts of mushrooms, and I hear that this guy, he runs a marathon in Antarctica wearing nothing but shorts. Who's heard of him? Who knows his name? Wim Hof, right? I've done all the self-development, and my education said we can't control the autonomous nervous system, right? That's what we learned in biology at school. It's autonomous. We have no control over it. But yet this guy talks about how through breathwork and meditation, he can connect with his biology and make it warm because he asks it to, because he has the ability to be able to communicate with his body. This is what he says, not me. Guess what? I started doing it, and I'm like, holy shit. Within half an hour of a half an hour, I held my breath I let my breath out for 2.5 minutes. And it was perfect because I increased the capacity of oxygen in my lungs through meditation and through the medicine work that I have done. This is an organism of 50 trillion individual cells. Every one of those cells are alive. You are the direct representative of your body, which means that you're the president of 50 trillion beings. The ramification of that is act like it. Imagine if we were to, as a society, understand the incredible technology that we have within us. 50 trillion individual cells that when the cells clump up to an organ, that becomes a collective consciousness and now it's an organ. When all the organs are put together, that's the body. This is one body of 50 trillion individual beings. How do I know? I've talked to them. How do I know that? Because they told me, dude, what are you doing to us? You're poisoning us. That's why I lost 20 kilos. Because I stopped poisoning my body. Not entirely, and I'm very sorry. I still have programming, right? I still have conditioning that I'm still getting over to stop the patterns that continue damaging myself and damaging the society that I'm in. And so I'm inviting you to go down this pathway to have a real look at myself, yourself, to go, okay, well, if what this dude's talking about is even slightly true, what's the ramifications of that? Some other things I found out, this is so interesting. So did you know that humans can access, which means to see, only 0.0035% of the visual spectrum? So that is the frequency of infrared and the ones that we can see through the eyes, 0.0035%. Did you know that humans can hear less than 0.001% of the audible spectrum? So that is hertz, okay? So, to give you an example, does anyone know how many vibrational frequencies or hertz the human ears can detect or pick up, register? You look it up on Google, it's between 20 and 20,000. That's 19,980 lines of code that our ears can register. Guess how many exist? Can anyone guess? 3,000? So if there's 19,000 we can hear, 3 billion. So humans, the scientists, have recorded, so that means we know exists, there's way more than that because obviously we're apes. 3 billion hertz exist, we can hear 19,980. These are all lines of code. Now, my question was, holy shit, so where is the 99.99%? And just because you can't see it doesn't mean it's not real. As an atheist before, I only believed in what I could see, feel, touch, and experience. I remember sitting at 18 years old, having a dozen beers, talking to people going, do you believe in God? And I really thought that they were crackpots if they did. I believe that there must be something greater because this is obviously designed, and I'm like, well, there has to be a designer to a design. But I had no idea what I was going to be falling into. No idea what this reality actually is. And it's way cooler than we could possibly ever imagine. It's way more than we could possibly ever imagine. So imagine, you know infrared's real, but you can't see it. You know Wi-Fi is real, but we can't see it. You know radio frequencies are real. When I'm tuning a radio, am I attracting the station, or does the station already exist? It already exists. So it's here right now, but we can't see it, feel it, touch it, right? But it's here. That is the billions and billions and billions and billions and billions and billions and billions of layers of information that are here right now. 99.99% of the actual reality that actually exists, we can't feel, touch, experience, or see right now. This is probably the most important piece of information in my entire presentation. Literally, there are billions of entities right here, right now. We just can't see and feel and touch it. We are multi-dimensional spiritual beings living a human experience, but the limit to the human experience is, as Alan Watts says, our consciousness leaves out more than it lets in. If you don't know this guy, he's the one who brought the Eastern philosophy to the West. He's probably one of the most phenomenal individuals, and thank God he existed. So our consciousness leaves out more than it lets in by a factor of infinite. Billions and billions and billions. So literally you're seeing 0.00, I had the calculations, I had a dozen interns look up the data for me. 0.000000001% is what you can experience. When I realized this, it liberated me from my ego because I'm like, I know nothing and none of you know anything. Because that's information. That's information. If there was a 1 billion-page book, I did the maths, it's 100 kilometers tall, and I said to you, pick one page at random, read it, tell me about the book. Could you? It's impossible. We're apes. We're literally apes. We're in the dark because we lack access to the real information and we rely on guesses that we label as truth. We're in the dark because we have no access to the real information. we're trying to attach ourselves to these ideas that we've created for ourselves that have no actual grounding in reality. None. And I've spent the last 3 years integrating, or basically de-integrating myself from a cultural society that has made us all psychopathic. In all seriousness. And I know, again, I'm sorry for triggering some individuals, but I 100%, and by the end of this you'll understand why I believe that we're all psychopaths. So that's the reason why I say, everything I see is unique to me. Because you're going to like this. Actually, I'm going to go here first. Let's see if I can go here first. Yeah. So how it works is, frequency, vibrational frequencies picked up by our sensing organ. Ears, eyes, everything like that. It goes through the neural network, through the brain, the processing brain. It gets from the brain to your consciousness, and then your consciousness projects out that reality. So the information comes in, gets processed through the filters of your stigmas, biases, experiences, traumas, all of the decades and decades of whatever you've been through. So if men are bad, if women are bad, if society's bad, if police are bad, whatever you've gone through, if one particular ethnicity was bad to you at some point in time, if your parents were bad to you at some point in time, if someone betrayed you, all of that information is being processed through these filters, and then it's after being processed by those filters, being handed off to your consciousness, and then your consciousness is projecting it, which means you're not seeing me, you're seeing your interpretation of me. This is 100% real. You're not seeing me, you're seeing your own interpretation of me through your filters, because you're the one projecting out this entire reality. Literally, not metaphorically. I just want to stop here because, again, this is probably one of the most important things of this entire thing. This is why your perception is so unique that you're the only individual that sees through your eyes. Because it's through your unique set of experiences, stigmas, biases, everything that you have, which is perfect, by the way. There's nothing wrong with it. Everything's perfect the way it is, and you're meant to be the way you are. Yet, we believe that other people see the same way, and then when we believe that, we get into all this conflict, because it's like, well, why don't you see the way that I see? Well, I have this idea over here that's called a religion, and hold on a minute, you attack this religion, and because I'm attached to this religion, you're attacking me. But that religion doesn't exist. It's just words. It's just words. So the Buddhist way, this is the reason why I live in Thailand, because they're very peaceful individuals, we attach ourselves to these ideas, and that causes us the misery. It's all self-made misery. And then we project that out onto society and other individuals, and then we create misery for the individuals around us. All misery is self-made. It's called self-inflicted suffering syndrome. Well, that's as my lay guru put it, self-inflicted suffering. If I am not in control, I allow what's outside of me to dictate and determine how I feel. If I am in control, then it doesn't matter what's happening outside of me for me to feel great. That's power. There's a book called Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl. This is a book where it talks about a Jewish psychologist who goes into Nazi death camps and maintains his happiness around death and misery. Now, I read that many, many years ago, and I thought, how the fuck is that possible? But not only did he maintain his sanity and his happiness, but he was a bright, shining light, and his entire corridor of individuals were happy and blissful, surrounded by death and misery. We can be the lights in everyone else's lives. I'm choosing to do this. I'm choosing to be this because I have seen now that this is 100% in fact. Not like I don't believe it. Like, this is it. This is 100% it. I am you, you are me. What I do to you, I do to myself. If I kick you, I'm kicking myself. It's the most retarded thing in the world that we are hurting each other. It really is insane, the amount of anger in this society. I think you all feel it. I think you all, who believes that we have gone a little bit off the kilter in our society? I appreciate it. Thank you for your honesty. For those who don't see it, that's cool too. That's the great thing. Your perspective is true and valid because it's yours, and I have to believe that it's your perspective, and if I invalidate your perspective, that's called gaslighting. That's what our government does to us every day. So we have to be better. And this is the reason why in the jungles over in Mexico, the first thing the medicine said to me, the peyote, was, Cameron, get out of your own way, Cameron, get out of your own way, Cameron, get out of your own way. In the mental health company, I wanted to save the people. You know, this person needs saving, and this person needs saving, and I had 4 fingers pointing back to me. I wasn't prepared to look at my own shit. So this is the reason why I invite you individually to go, okay, well, what about me that I could change, that's going to make me better, that's going to clear away the bullshit of the past so I can live at my highest self? Because you all can do it, and you're all here for it, and it's perfect the way it is, and it's going to get better. For sure, it's going to get better. So this is a model that I created a few years ago, copyrighted, thank you very much. These are the filters, the programs stored in the mind, the heavy metals and toxins in the bodies, the shadows in the subconscious, the cognitive biases that we have, the spiritual awakening, the physical factors, the ego, the parasites in the body, the media and technology, the chakra and energy imbalances. By the way, a lot of this stuff is now proven by, well actually all of this stuff is now proven by science. So I had to legitimize all of this because I was a logical, rational, pragmatic thinker, and I'm like, wait a minute, this reality is a bit scary. I can't really make sense of it. And so I had to read hundreds of books to understand what was actually going on, and this is the reason why I can explain it to you the way I am, because I had to dumb it down for me. I'm not a scientist, I'm not a bookworm, I'm an entrepreneur who just has gone out and done it and kicked enough things to go, oh, that hurts. So our experiences, our expectations, again, expectations, to come tell something with an expectation, and then for that expectation not to be the case, and then for me to be sad, it's just, again, self-made misery. Intentions, emotions, interpretations. If I am happy, my neurology is going to project out something happy. If I'm sad, my neurology is going to project out something that's sad. We are a broadcasting, magnetizing, incredible being that's one of the best, most advanced technology that this universe has ever seen. That rhymed. So, why is this important? Because 95%, I mean it depends on who you ask, it could be 88%, 90%, 95%, it doesn't really matter. The large majority of our life, we are operating in the shadow, the unconscious. When we're operating in the unconscious, we are operating patterns. Patterns, 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 you're not aware. This is the 3 blind monkeys. We are all in this category. I am not out of this. There's no human being that's out of this. What I found out with the interns, with the mental health company, is that, I didn't say, 90% of individuals are going to go through some sort of mental health crisis at some point in time. When I learned this, my stigma was removed, and I'm like, well, I'm going to go through that because I'm in that 90%. And why are we talking about this? Well, how is this taboo in a society? If the large majority of us are going to go through something like this, how is suicide something that we don't talk about openly? It's insane. This is conditioning from a society that wants you to be sick, dumb, and stupid. And it's going that way. It really is going that way. So, the large majority of our life, we're living programs and blind spots. Now, I can get into all of this, and we go into it more in the Freedom Collective. Like, all of this stuff is super, super important for one to know. I really believe that. So, your external reality is a direct reflection of your internal reality. If you change your internal reality, you change your external reality. If there's anything about your life that you want to change, you can change it by changing yourself. I'll give you a good example. I didn't speak to my brother for 6 years. I lost my mind a bit in Manila, and I was able to go to Latin America, 15, 16 countries, but one of the first ones when I left the Philippines was Costa Rica. My brother flew over. It was the first time I saw him for 6 years, and we had to get along. The whole family was coming over, and we were looking at spots to basically buy because the whole family was like, fuck Australia. That's why we're not here. And so he was the same. So he likes to make jokes of other people's expenses, and it just annoys me. And so I roll my eyes, and I would sigh and be like, Dan, can you please stop doing this? And he'd just say, fuck you, no. And so after a few weeks of this, my father comes over, my entire family comes over, and I'm sitting with Dad, and I'm like, no, Dad, I'm going to try something different. Every single time he does that, makes a joke at my expense, I'm going to go and change it, and I'm going to say, Dan, I love you, and you're a fantastic brother. Guess what? I did. Guess what? 2 weeks later, he stopped it. If we change, everything else changes. We are causing the reality around us. Everything around us is we are responsible for, 100%. This is Cameron, get out of your own way, Cameron, get out of your own way, Cameron, get out of your own way. We are 100% responsible for it. So the external reality is a direct reflection of your internal reality. Change the internal reality, change the external reality. It's literally as simple as it is. 7:21, fantastic. We're on time, I'm going to have a drink. Has there any questions so far? Thank you, I really appreciate it. So, I also created this, which is Quin's hierarchy of healing, because every single time I thought I was healed, I realized, oh shit, I had more to do. We have so much to do. So if you, by the way, this is like a push as well. I'm going to create some urgency. If you do not start now, the ones who aren't doing this work and deconditioning themselves from the psychopathy of this society are going to be so far ahead of you that you're going to be left behind. I mean that because we are evolving, and if I know how to manifest my reality better than you, then I'm going to create my dreams, and you're going to be stuck in patterns. This is like, it's happening. Like, yay, we're evolving. So anyway, we have the physical 3D body, we have the transitional dimension, the 4D, and we have the spiritual body, 5D. These are all the things that I've had to learn and actually go through and start doing myself. So, poor external environment. If I'm listening to the TV, turn the fucking TV off. Tell a vision programming. Everything is programming you, 100%. The music, the hip hop, the games. I was playing GTA and listening to rap and hip hop, and that's the reason why my vision board from Tony Robbins' days was money, cars, fucking power, all of the bullshit. It was all of the bullshit. For over 10 years I did these self-development courses, and I did 3 or 4 of these vision boards, and every single time I would leave it on behind the door. I would never put it anywhere that was actually visual, and I never understood why I didn't care about it. Because I thought that that's what I wanted, but that was all brainwashing and conditioning. When I finally realized this, I was in, again, Philippines. After I realized that I needed money to be free, the following day I fucking went to the floor and started crying because I realized I was already free, and that's what gave me the permission to go, okay, what do I really want to manifest? If money didn't exist, what do I want to do for the rest of my life? And this is what I want to do. This came into my life. I wanted to build an off-grid permaculture farm, which I'm doing right now. And the goal is to speak in front of tens of thousands of individuals. Right now we're here, so thank you all for being here. I'm very grateful for being part of my manifestation. Truly. But we can only do that if we uncover the conditioning and brainwashing that we currently have unseen, which is the hardest thing to do. Most of us can't do it by ourselves because we are the 3 blind monkeys, and it's super, super painful. And usually this is the stuff that our friends and family come up to and go, hey, you're a bit loud, Cameron. No, I'm not, fuck you, my parents love me. When we become defensive, when we feel like we're being attacked, or let's say for instance, like me in the past, because of the defensiveness and because of my aggro, the individuals in my life didn't feel safe to be able to provide me this information, and so they just, fuck you, I'm out. I don't know if you've had an individual who just started ghosting you. I don't know if you've had an individual in your life who was just like, okay, I'm done, can't do that anymore. Now they're the same, don't get me wrong, they're no better, because they're going through the same stuff, but we are sabotaging relationships because we are unable to see and smell our own shit. And so really it's like, okay, that's not very good, and I need to change something about that, right? If we don't do it, we'll be left behind, honestly. So, I've just started here, so that's the poor external environment. Then we have the nutrition, the gut-brain connection. Did you know that your heart has neurons in it, the same neurons that are in your brain? Did you know that your heart sends more signals to your brain and your brain to your heart? Yes. This is legit. So if you're putting shit in, okay, I gotta share this, it's so good. So I had a former NFL player over in Mexico that I met. He was a sound healer. He broke his neck on the field. I met him when he was a phenomenal yogi. He was told he'd never walk again. He became a 6'3" yogi god. I'm talking, he has abs that come out like this far. He eats 1 vegan meal a day and just creates supplements. Now he shared with me a few things. One, I'm going to share this. When I eat, 60% of my blood goes to my stomach to process it, to get the nutrients out of it, to feed the body. Okay? Now, when I'm hungry, I'm taking that signal as I need to put food in my mouth. It's the wrong signal. When I'm hungry, the body's going, I need vitamins, minerals, and nutrients. That's all it's saying. It's not saying I need food. Then what do? We go and put McDonald's in our mouth that has 0 vitamins, minerals, and nutrients. 60% of our blood for 6 hours goes to our stomach to process this shit, which is poison, and then it has to get it out of it. And while 60% of the blood is doing that, it's not healing organs. It's not regenerating cells. That's the reason why we have so much cancer. And there's other reasons why I won't mention right now. But anyway, this is the reason why we got a lot of cancer up until 2021, and now we have a lot more of it. Okay? Because we're feeding shit into the system. This is the reason why my cells were like, dude, can you stop poisoning us? At that point in time, I was drinking so much alcohol. I was in the pandemic, I was at a penthouse. We were starting a Mind You company. And there's nothing open late at night because there's a 6 p.m. curfew and the government were crazy. And so literally we could only get crap. And so what I was doing, I was eating crap. And one night I had 8 grams of mushrooms and literally my cells spoke to me and they just said, please stop poisoning us. And so I stopped doing that. I gave up alcohol, so now I don't drink alcohol. I haven't eaten fast food for a very long time. Many changes. I mean, I like to say that I cut back my meat intake, but the challenge is that programming's got me too. It's all programming. Everything that we're going through is programming. Parasites living in the body. Turns out parasites are demons. Holy shit. And they have the ability to control our thoughts. So it's like, okay, the parasite is a low vibrational frequency. It wants its environment to be low vibrational. And to do that, to keep you in a low vibrational state, it's going to make you do things that you don't want to do. That you know is not good for you. That you know the future self is going to look back and go, fuck, I wish I didn't do that. It's literally doing this because, wow, there's so much to go, I can't go through everything. So, parasite, heavy metal stored in the body, trauma stored in the body, programs stored in the mind, chakra and energy system imbalances, there's shadow stored in the subconscious from childhood complex trauma. Every single one of us has gone through childhood complex trauma. Every single one of us need to go through reparenting. I shit you not, because generational trauma, our parents' believe the information that we're currently living was real and true, and yet it's not. I can categorically say it's not, and then they pass that down to their parents, and they pass that down to their parents, and now we believed it, and then we lived it because we believed it. But the great thing is we can believe anything and we can live anything. This is what going around 16 countries and experiencing multiple cultures have shown me, is that we can literally live in any way we want. I've been to Bhutan. That place, they charge $200 US a day just to be there, in tax. 80% of the country lives off the land. They have no abattoirs. They kill no animals. They lock up no animals. They are the most peaceful, beautiful individuals I have ever met. It's extraordinary. It's so beautiful. So we can live in any way we want to live. It's just currently we're choosing this because we believe this is the right way. And we can change that. So, the real cheat code for leveling up isn't more effort. It's deconditioning the mind, deprogramming or reprogramming belief systems, shifting habits, calming the nervous system so you can handle the next level of growth and success without self-sabotaging. Because if we try to get to that next level, and I've experienced this and I've seen it, and I'm going through it, is that the childhood trauma, I'm not good enough, or I don't think I can do this, or the, what's it called when you think that you're a fraud?
Imposter syndrome.
Thank you. Imposter syndrome. This is all unconscious, subconscious programming that's happening in the background that's causing everything else to happen. Okay, we're not aware of it because we're not aware of it. That's the reason why we all need therapy, so that we can become aware of it, literally. So once we become aware of it, we can change that story. If you don't do it, if you try and level up, especially with what's coming in the future, because time is changing and it's changing rapidly, it's going to continue changing, then you will stop the divine from giving you what you want because your programs will limit your own life. You will stop the divine from giving you what you want because you will limit the programs of your own life. How do I know that? Because I can see so clearly how I was sabotaging everything I actually wanted in my life. Like I said, I believe I need money to be free. I don't have enough money. Well, it's like, okay, well, what does freedom look like? Well, I want to do this with freedom, but I believe that I need money to get that. Well, that means I need to work over here to go over there. But really, how it actually works is, I'm not even kidding, it's like I want to be over here, but the divine might want to give it to you in any other way, which there's a billion other ways for you to be able to get what you want. It really is. I'll give an example. Once I gave up all of this illusionary BS about money. I had no money. I went back to Australia to integrate, and I had one of my friends overseas goes, "Bro, I really miss you. I can't wait to catch up with you. I'll pay for your flight over to Bali." I'm like, "Oh yay!" I had another mate, "Hey, I hear you going to Bali. I got this 5-star hotel, $600 a night, 5 nights. Do you want to go there? Because I can't make it." Yeah. Another mate, I shit you not. "Oh, hey, I've just started a podcasting co-working studio in Bali. Do you want to come and check it out?" Yeah. Do you want to record your stuff here? Yes, please. Everything you want is on the other side of reducing and removing the paradigms that we have of our own life. So I'm going to give you some examples. Fear of judgment and criticism, cultural root, tall poppy syndrome, and a national allergy to standing out. The psychological effect can be the nervous system associates visibility. So with what I'm doing right now, like public speaking is one of the top fears. Like, I think public speaking is higher than death. Someone would rather die than have to get up in front of people, right? So the nervous system associates visibility with rejection or attack. How does one self-sabotage and the pattern? You unconsciously shrink, hold back, or edit yourself to be acceptable, even if that means abandoning your most authentic self or voice. You just go small. How do I know this? I did it. It took me 2.5 years to be comfortable to be able to talk like this in front of you all. And I was confident as fuck before. But to be trying to share with you a live audience that, hey, by the way, I am you and you are me, and literally death's not real, can be a bit scary. Really scary, actually. So a few years back, that thought that I'd even talk to you like this was impossible. Not possible. I had to go through so much healing to be able to get to this point. And I hope you appreciate it. 2, chronic guilt around resting. Oh my God. Like, how many of you are on holiday and are thinking about work and guilty for not working? How shit? We're meant to be resting and we're literally sabotaging the rest with worry and guilt. Man, I did this. So, work ethic, glorification, the battler identity, the psychological effect. Rest is equated with laziness. Self-worth is tied to productivity. The self-sabotage pattern, even when burnout is imminent, you override the rest signals. The body's like saying, dude, take a break, relax, sleep a little bit. The people around us are like, nah, keep going, you can do it. You override the rest signals, becoming less effective, creative, and regulated, reinforcing the loop, and a lot of the time go into dis-ease, which is disease. You get sick. 3, internalized dogma and stigma from cultural religious bias. Legacy of colonialism, Christianity, and us versus them narratives. The psychological effect, unconscious bias or inherited shame, shapes our others or self-view. Self-sabotage pattern, opportunities, love, or community may be sabotaged due to outdated beliefs around race, gender, spirituality, or sexuality, even if those beliefs contradict your values. I believe being gay was wrong because of the society and the family and the environment that I was in. I remember I was in Hollywood at 21, maybe 22, with 3 beautiful Canadian girls on a Monday. And guess where the only place was cranking? The gay club. And so I had such a homophobic tendency that I had one of the girls here, one of the girls here, and one of the girls here walking into the club. Turns out that I found out that night they're the nicest blokes in the world, and I had the biggest head. I couldn't fit through the door on the way out. I got hit on so much, now I understand how women feel. I had the best night of my life. After that I'm like, they're not so bad, what the fuck were they all talking about? Loyalty to old social circles. Cultural root, don't be too good for your mates. Big Australia. Psychological effect. Growth triggers loyalty, guilt. If I change, I will lose them. Self-sabotage pattern, especially with family. You'll stagnate to stay relatable. You'll water yourself down to remain accepted by this community, and you'll abandon evolution. Through this process, you will lose family and friends. Because you'll change, that's the point, we're supposed to change, and they'll go, hey, are you okay? You're different. You're supposed to be different. A caterpillar doesn't turn into a butterfly. It's not like a caterpillar going from red to blue. They're turning into a butterfly. They're changing, they're evolving. We are meant to evolve, and you can evolve, basically. You can be a completely different individual, and that's extraordinarily scary for most individuals. Yet, I can share that through this process, you start deconditioning the stuff that isn't you, and then you find out the stuff that is you. And then you become the most authentic you. Now, through this process, it's not easy, it's scary, because there's limbo times, okay? There is limbo times where you're like, oh my God, like, I wasn't expecting that. I didn't expect for me to be like that, and I didn't expect the people around me to be like that, and now I have new awareness, and it's a bit shit. You know, this process isn't easy. I'm not here to sell you, you know, hey, this is a 5-step process to becoming enlightened. It's actually the hardest work that you will do in your entire life to confront your own mirror. And so that's the reason why I built a community to help support you. That's the reason why I built a community to literally go, okay, let's handhold you through this process, and let's surround you with other people who are doing the same thing so that you don't feel lost, because it can feel very scary going through the process of deconditioning, because you have to, well, when you realize that you've been punked, you can go into a place of, how can I trust myself if I can't trust myself because I've been punked? I share with you, most of the stuff in our lives is an illusion. I guarantee it, I promise it. I say that confidently because I've had to go through it. And it can be scary, and I mean some individuals go through psychosis, proper psychosis. Dark night of the soul, they'll lose everything around them. I celebrate bankruptcy. I celebrate the dark night of the soul. I celebrate individuals who are losing people from their lives, because that means they're growing. As long as they're changing. If they're losing people from their lives and like, nah, that's all them and it's not about me, well then they're, you know, free-blind monkeys. But it is the most important thing that we can do, and you will lose people. Unresolved abandonment wounds. So high rates of emotional unavailability in parenting models. Mummy, dad, I'm busy. You know, just that. There's no actual trauma, but when that happens, that little child can easily, and many of you probably are experiencing this unconsciously, they don't care about me, I'm unimportant, I'm not loved. If that child believes that and sticks with it for the rest of their life, that'll play out in the rest of their life until they heal it. Hypervigilance to perceived rejection, self-sabotage pattern is you unconsciously test or push others away, proving your belief. They'll leave anyway. They don't love me, they'll leave. And so you unconsciously sabotage those relationships. How do I know? Because I have seen it so many times in the past, in myself. So the nervous system feels safe in the pain that it knows, in the discomfort that it knows, not the potential new reality that's to come. So we feel more comfortable in the pain that we know than the new reality to come. So anyway, there's heaps of these. I'm going to keep going. Does anyone resonate with any of those? Fantastic, I appreciate that. So a question could be that you're asking now, so how does one regain control? Cam, you're telling me that I'm out of control, so how do I regain control? And I apologize if this is confronting and if this is triggering for anyone. Again, feel free to ask any questions at any point in time. So how does one regain control and become active in our programming? So when I really understood it, and when the penny dropped that I was programmed, so the conditioning of school, which I would call a concentration camp, that's lovely at this point in time. The brainwashing that we all went through, again, the rap, hip hop, the GTA, Grand Theft Audio, running around killing people. I mean, this is really, when you look at it, you go, oh, it's obvious that society is the way it is. When I really understood that I was programmed, I realized I was programmable, and then I became the active participant in my program. I'm like, I'll be the coder. I will do the programming consciously and actively. And what I found is that I've done that, my reality has changed, because I have reprogrammed my neurology. And so you can all reprogram your neurology. These are neural pathways. They say habits are formed in 21 days. So if you remove a habit, there's a void. So if you don't actively put a habit back in, Anything can fill that void. Could be good, bad, ugly, who knows. But if you remove a void, which is the deprogramming, you reprogram something you actively want in your life, in 21 days, that shifts. If you do that 3 to 5 times in 1 year, your life is different, completely different, because there's a compound effect. You are a changed human being if you just change 5 things, 5 habitual behaviors that you used to do. And Einstein knew this, and that's the reason why he said the definition of insanity is to do the same thing over and over again and expect a different result. What are we doing, ladies and gentlemen? The same thing. We're eating the same, we're talking the same, we have the same habitual behaviors, we have the same, sports. We can all say that sports is a great thing, right? The Romans, what do they say? Give them a circus and bread and you'll control them. It's like, keep them entertained. We're entertained, ladies and gentlemen. We're distracted and we're distracting ourselves from the reality. This is the reason why what's the worst punishment for the worst criminals?
Solitary.
Thank you, solitary confinement. What happens to most individuals when they go into solitary confinement? They go fucking crazy. Why?
Being with themselves.
Because they're being with themselves. I had a mentor say to me, Cameron, if you can't spend much time by yourself, you must not be very good company. And it hit me like a ton of bricks, because it's true. This is the reason why the most enlightened beings can go up into the Himalayas and spend 21 days with themselves, because they actually love themselves. Because if we actually loved ourselves, we could spend time with ourselves, but guess what? We can't. We have to distract ourselves. Social media, alcohol, sports, work. We have to stop it. So when I get back, I'm doing a Vipassana for 10 days. A Vipassana is a 10-day silent retreat where basically you have to spend 10 days silently with yourself. You can't do anything else. We have to do this, or we're going to go off a cliff. This just gets worse and worse and worse, or it gets better. And we are all individually responsible for where we are. The next generation, it's our responsibility to stop them from receiving the same programming we received, for them to continue the same patterns that we are now patterned. So we are responsible for cutting off the curses of generations. Because if we don't, then it's going to continue to perpetuate. We will continue to go into wars, we will continue to go into genocide, we will continue to be fighting, we will continue to pretend as if we're not one thing. So I'm not there yet, I'm almost there. That one thing is coming. So how do I regain control? Breathwork, mindfulness, meditation. I have to sit still. I have to allow my mind to calm down. I have to allow the monkey mind, swinging from branch to branch, from thought to thought, I have to calm that down. If it's hard, good. Start there. It gets better. I still remember the first time I actually tried this, and I was promoting it before I tried it. I was in the Philippines, running a mental health company. I was in the office, and man, things were crazy. I was looking after every single department. We had celebrities coming on board. It was exciting. And one day I was like, okay, I'm super stressed right now and I'm about to hyperventilate. First time that ever happened. Like, what do? Meditate. So I got my app out. I got out, I can't remember the app. What was it? Calm. No, Calm. I think Calm. Yeah. I got out Calm and I sat in the corner of the boardroom, out the window, and I put my headphones in for a 15-minute thing and I just sat there. And afterwards, I was calm. I walked out of the boardroom and go, it works! Everything we're talking about works! I was calm. It was amazing. So we have to be doing this. If we're not doing this, you have to start doing this. If you're not starting, you have to start. I mean, you don't have a choice at this point in time. This is a daily practice that one has to start. Because if I'm talking all the time, then there's no room for anything else to come in. And I can promise you, like the billions and billions and billions and billions and billions and billions of vibrational frequencies that are around us right now, there's a lot more that can come in. That's the reason why Vipassana is so powerful, because over 10 days, these mofos aren't sitting there in silence, they're traveling universes. How do I know? I know shamans all around the world. I've seen magic. They are traveling to universes. There's so much more to this reality. This is the limited world. So my father, he didn't go through medicine or psychedelics. He went over to see Joe Dispenza. Who here knows Joe Dispenza? Yeah, thank God him. The Supernatural, phenomenal book. Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself, phenomenal book. I sent my dad Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. He went to Colorado to see Joe Dispenza speak. He went through transcendental meditation. He experienced it. We all are superhuman. Every single one of us have the ability. If we don't tap into that superhuman, we'll be left behind. If you don't want to be left behind, start meditating. Please. Please, please, please. We have become conscious of our self-talk. So, we're superhuman beings that cast spells. When I talk, that's entangling with everything in the universe. Okay, part of those vibrational frequencies I was talking about before. When I think, my mind is broadcasting those thoughts. What do I mean by that? You know those skull caps that they read which part of your brain is activating during different experiments? Do you know the reason why that works? Because your brain is a radio station emitting these frequencies. You are a broadcasting unit. When you think, you are sending signals out to the entire universe. This is how powerful you are. When I realized this, I had to stop looking at women the same way. Truly. I had to clean up my thoughts. So a good way to do this is, imagine that every single one of your thoughts is up on the New York Stock Exchange building for everyone else to see, and that's the reality. What's his name? Steve Jobs was at one of the Harvard universities. He was talking about, in one of his speeches, we are already naked. You and me are already naked. Our thoughts are already out there. Everything is out there because we are one being. We are an infinite consciousness that seems to be in this awesome reality that somehow was created. And we get to experience this reality from different perspectives, and that's the beauty of it. So, if we don't become conscious of our self-talk, you're bad. This person's, the government's bad, which is what I used to, or still do. You know, I hate you, or you should die, or anything down to I can't do it. This is the reason why the placebo effect works, because the moment I say I can't do it, that's the reality that I'm going to create. So I removed impossible from my vocabulary. I removed can't from my vocabulary because these do not exist. They don't exist. You can do anything you want. This is the most exciting thing. Now, with great power comes great responsibility. This is 100% true, because you literally are an infinite being. And what I'm sharing with you today, I can only share with you because of the time and space that we're in now. 15 years ago, you had to go up into the Himalayas and be a disciple to a monk or some sort of shaman for 10 years to get access to this information. How do I know this? Because the people who did that told me. They told me. There's magical spells that you can learn. Hopefully you do good with it. Okay? You are so much more powerful than you could possibly ever imagine. I'm more powerful than I could possibly ever imagine. So, if you put things out to the universe, be prepared for it to come back to you. Change your environment. Remove shit people from your life. Have healthy boundaries. Don't just remove them. Don't just ghost them. Learn how to communicate and go, hey, I didn't like that. Can you please stop that? And if they don't respect your boundaries, then they don't respect you. So then remove them from your life. Whether they're your mum, your dad, your brother, your sister, it doesn't really matter. I don't need that. I want to go here. Any of this, if you want to fly, any of this will hold you down. So I asked the billionaire VJ, who I happen to have as a mentor, which I'm very grateful for. I said, what do you do about attachments? He said, Cameron, if you want to fly, any attachment will hold you down. And I said, what about your mum and dad? What about mum and dad? I haven't attached them, I love them. Attachment is not love, my friend. You can love someone from afar. You can love someone and still not have them determine your life. Liberation. It's like, yay! I don't have to do that stuff anymore. I don't have to worry about that stuff anymore. So change your environment. Journal. Journaling allows us to organize and analyze our unconscious thoughts to navigate them more easily. Because of the monkey mind jumping from tree to tree, it's very difficult to get it down and have a look at it. The moment we do, it becomes very, very easy to tell how crazy we are. But because it's up there, it's very easy for our unconscious mind to grab that, turn a story from it, and it's like, that person doesn't like me. They're ignoring me. I'm bad. I need to cry now. I need to cut that person off. I'm going to react and go, fuck you. Well, hold on a minute, I didn't mean it that way. We're crazy. Okay? And journaling allows us to be able to reflect and see it much easier. It allows the monkey mind to come and be organized, and then you can reflect on that, and it makes it so much easier. The billionaire made me do it. So now I have books This is a Gnosis book. By the way, after 13 years old, I didn't believe that I needed to write anymore with a pen because I have a computer. And so every single one of my letters was written by a partner or an executive assistant. This is spell casting. This is writing spells. It changes one's life, and ever since I started writing again, since VJ told me to, I've written books. I've got a stack of books this time. Actually, I've got a better advice. I'm going to write my first book, which I'm very excited about. Hopefully you'll buy it.
Can I ask a quick question?
Please.
So with journaling, can you, so sometimes, and maybe I've answered my own question here, but sometimes I find it hard to kind of just sit there and write, because it's like I write so slow, my ability to write is very slow. So I would just like get my phone out and just literally record myself, my own, you know, hey, this has been my day, I'm grateful for this, I'm grateful for that. Is there any difference between, you know, writing it and actually speaking it? I guess my question.
Great question. So yes, there is a difference, and it depends on what your goal is and your objective is. So I've learned that there's I've learned over a dozen ways to journal. I teach it within the Freedom Collective. Now, also, if you want to write a book, then getting it out onto a recorder to be able to have it transcribed by the computer is much easier and much quicker. It's more powerful to write it because it's basically, the penmanship is probably putting that into the subconscious mind. The body feels the importance of every single word, and you will get faster.
Okay.
My handwriting looked like doctor's handwriting. Now I got pretty beautiful handwriting. It has increased my vocabulary. It has changed the way that I talk because of the way that I write, basically. So yes and no. I mean, you can do it both ways, but I really highly recommend penmanship.
Yeah, okay, thank you. Appreciate that.
Pleasure. Look after your health. Unpopular opinion. If your doctor prescribes you meds before asking about your diet, you have a dealer, not a healer. The doctors are killing us. I am not even kidding. I really 100% believe that now. So, you know, the physical body, if your physical body is in a ruin, then you need to look at what you're eating and consuming. So we need to look at what our consumption is from our mouth, our eyes and our ears. If we're consuming stuff that it's fear, so if you're watching the news, then you're basically consuming shit, okay? Your eyeballs, if you're watching porn, I'm sorry to say, from an addict, by the way, it is the destruction of the feminine. Complete destruction of the feminine. It makes a woman as an object, where the reality is they're goddesses. Your gods, they're goddesses. When I awoken at 7:30 in the morning in the Mexican jungle, covered with bloody spew and dirt, I turned to Haley, my friend, and I said, "So we are gods." And she turned to me and she giggled, yeah. It's remarkable. We are infinite beings. We are living this one experience. This body is not me. It's part of the infinite. If I attach to this body and I believe this body dies, then I believe this reality is limited, which is scarcity, which is fear. Then I start living my life in fear. So when I really want to, when I really want to jump off the cliff and actually do something, I'm like, yeah, I don't really want to do that because I might die. That is what the conditioning and programming of believing that you die does. It changes your paradigm of what you would actually do within this reality. So I had to integrate the fact that I don't die. What's the ramification of that? Live like you don't die. I don't say be irresponsible, because this body is a phenomenal vessel. It's 50 trillion individual cells. It's taken billions and billions and billions of years to evolve to, and we are so lucky to be here. So it's not about being irresponsible, but it's about not allowing fear to dictate and determine my actions and my behaviors. Fear is the number one driver in the society today. Love is not. Fear is the number one driver in society today. And so if I start acting in love, I change my behavior. Love for myself, love for my fellow human being. Ditch your social media. I know I got all of you here from social media, so thanks. But if you're a consumer and not a producer, remove it from your life. removed from your life. If you're a consumer and not a producer, then you're the product. They literally meant this. That's the reason why it's the most valuable asset in the world, because as Tony Robbins says, where your focus goes, energy flows. They don't give a shit if you hate Trump as long as you're thinking about him. Why do you think they have statues of Buddha and Jesus Christ, and over in Thailand they have a picture of the king every single where? Why do you think they did it? Because the moment you look at him, you're sending him your vibrational energy, which is your essence, which is your most powerful source energy. You're sending it to something that it doesn't matter about you. It doesn't care about you. You're giving it to that entity, that being, and not something that benefits your life. So I also invite you to be selfish. Because to be selfish is to be selfless, because if I love me, I love you. If I love you, I love me. That's the way it works. That's the great thing about it. One of the other things is, it's being selfish is bad. No, I need to fill up my cup first, because if my cup's not full, I can't overflow with love. Because if I'm giving you love from an empty cup, then I'm going to deplete myself, and then it's impossible for me to love anything more. I found out that I didn't love myself. I found out I didn't love myself when I said that I did. So anyway, that's a good one. Any questions? Cool.
What's it feel like now?
Oh, fantastic. I don't know if you can see it. Thank you, I appreciate it. Yeah, it's really good. Thank you, I really appreciate it, Diane. Turn off your television. Join the Freedom Collective. So I literally created this program specifically for individuals like me who didn't have the support, who didn't have the knowledge. I didn't know about Reiki until I knew about Reiki. I didn't know about sound healing until I knew about sound healing. I didn't know about TRE or breathwork until I knew about these things. And so the reality is that I know, after speaking to thousands of individuals around the world, other people don't know this as well. 2, I didn't have anyone holding me accountable except for my father, and he's a hard man to keep accountable. Okay? Or to keep me accountable, I should say. So, or you can do that. So is it okay if I tell you a bit about the Freedom Collective and if I do a bit of an invite?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, great, I appreciate that. Okay, so there's many members in the room. I'm probably going to get one of the individuals to come up and speak. Actually, I didn't tell you about it before, but Shane, I'm going to get you to come up afterwards. Is that okay?
Oh, well, yeah.
Thank you. This entire session was pre-planned about 2 weeks ago. So the first thing is the cadence circle. So this is the accountability session. So why do you get a personal trainer? To make sure you turn up. So the cadence circle is an accountability session of 2 hours to ensure that you do what you say you're going to do. So this is the behavior changes, this is the belief system changes, this is the changes that you say that you're going to make, that you can now hold yourself accountable. You can have peers doing the same thing, holding you accountable to. This is super important. We have catalytic conversations, access knowledge base. So today we had Nicholas take us through understanding the unconscious mind, how to access the unconscious mind, what regression therapy and hypnosis, and then he taught us hypnosis therapy. He taught us self-hypnosis today. To be able to program and trigger in and then start accessing the subconscious mind to be able to put the stuff in that we want. We talk about reprogramming, you can add anything. He was the first guy that I trusted to give me regression therapy and hypnosis, and he stopped me from smoking marijuana. I smoked marijuana for 20 years, and recently I've stopped for now 3 months because of those sessions. I spent 9 hours with him. He's the first man I trusted to access my subconscious because I know you can put anything in there. Or practical pathways. This is when we do the do. So we go through astrology, we go through human design, we go through breathwork, we go through journaling. Basically, I get you to sit down and do the do. So I sit there with you and I do it with you. Because the reality is everything that I do is the stuff that I want to do because it's good for me, it's good for you. I guarantee it. So we go 3 2-hour sessions per month. What do you get? Golden vision session. The first thing we do is we onboard you. I don't just get you to go straight into the program, we have to onboard you. First of all, you have to go BHAG, big, hairy, audacious goal. Where am I aiming for? Because where you want to go and where you are, there is a gap, and you need to bridge that gap. That's not a doing gap, that's a being gap. It's a being gap, and it's the same reason why a billionaire can lose all his money and then become a billionaire again. Because it is our manifestation. We are the projectors. You can do whatever you want. So this is where I invite you to dream as large as you possibly can, to make it scary. And then go, okay, well, what does that individual look like? If I want to attract the woman of my dreams, or the man of my dreams, who is it that they want? You know, most of us like, I want this beautiful blonde woman over here, blah, blah, blah. Well, she doesn't, you know, she probably doesn't want you. At this stage, you probably need to become a different individual to get her. You know, probably start doing yoga. Seemingly the most beautiful, intelligent, wonderful women I've met do yoga. In all honesty, she probably wants her man to do yoga. So you need to become the individual to be able to step into those shoes. You have to become that individual. You can't just go, okay, I'm going to do all this stuff. My father's told me, oh my God, it's about 1,000 times, Cameron, you need to stop doing, you need to start being. You need to be more. That needs to be present more, meditate more. Imagine that reality more. Change the behaviors, change the belief systems, change the words, and then it will come to you because you're the attractor. Vision mapping. So that's reverse engineering. So it's like, okay, well, it's over 2 sessions. We need to get you to where you want to be. This is 12 months, by the way. So it's a 12-month program. Likely you'll be in it for a lot more longer than 12 months, so that'd be great. But who do you need to become and what do you need to do to get there? And then we give you a habit tracker. And then we go, okay, what are the specific goals that you need to go within 12 months? We got 5 years, 12 months, and then what are the things that you need to do every single day consistently to be able to get there? 1, you have to do meditation. 2, you have to journal. It's part of the deal. Like, you have to start doing this. And so I'm going to push you to do that. 3, you get the DNR framework. I spent $50,000 over the last 3 years putting this together. I have the ReProgram and ReProgram, which is a $14,000 US system where basically I have a Carl Jung depth psychologist work with you individually, one-on-one. Deprogram 5 habitual behaviors and reprogram with 5 more, and by the end of that, you're a new human being. This is a metamorphosis. That's the point. We're growing, we're evolving. You get that, and you get that for free as part of this program. You don't get the sessions with the psychologist, that obviously costs money, but you get the framework. You get expert-led workshops, which I talked about before. You get the accountability, which I talked about before. You get the empowering community. If you're an individual who is not surrounded by individuals like me, or like the other individuals that you might see in the room who's already part of this, like influences like, and who you surround yourself is entanglement. And so that's the reason why you are the average of the 5 people around you. If you want to step up, then you need to step up your vibrational frequency, then you need to change the individuals around you. Gain a breadth of new ideas, which is the catalytic conversations and the resources for transformation. You also get my online program, and you'll also get every other online program that I build. Because the reality is this is the program I'm focusing on, the Freedom Collective. So just to quickly recap. What you see and experience is decoded vibrations and frequencies. We don't have access to 99.99% of the information. We are programmable and we have been programmed. Our programs determine how we view and experience the world. We're unaware of 95% of our programs, and your consciousness projects out the movie of your life based upon the inputs of your neural networks. Who doesn't believe this after today's session? Who believes this after today's session? Fantastic. I'm very grateful for your participation. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it. Who knows this guy?
Not personally, but I know who he is.
Epithecus. Okay, we're going to... So I did tell you a bit about the session, and I'll give you the pricing shortly, because I thought you were talking about that, but I have a bit more information. Would you like this next bit of information? It's pretty intense, but... Cool. So, it turns out separationalist scientists have come up to this reality, and the shamans and the scientists are all speaking the same language. Separationalist scientists will break something down to the smallest thing possibly observable, so your skin, the wood, the air, it's all matter. And they will break it down half to the smallest thing that's possibly observable by the largest microscopes. And guess what they've found?
Nothing.
It's all the same thing. Everything. Your skin, organic matter, glass, air, when they break it down to the smallest possible thing, the most observable thing, they're gone. We don't know what it is because it's the same thing on every single level. They call it a quirk. They call it a proton, neutron, and electron all circling each other, but they don't really know what it is. It's all the same thing. At the base layer of this entire reality, they've seen the subatomic particles as the foundation of matter, with the diversity of materials we observe emerging from different arrangements and interactions of these fundamental building blocks. It's the same thing. Everything between you and I is matter. And it is all, technically by the scientists, the same thing. Now, what does Buddha and a television have in common?
Frequency. Radio frequency.
Vibration.
It's a great answer. Both are great answers. Not what I'm looking for. A great answer.
They're everywhere.
So, I like that. Yes. So it turns out 2,500 years ago, Buddha, Gautama Buddha, in his divine wisdom, had scripted in stone, in Sanskrit, that the subatomic particle, which the scientists say, which is the base layer of everything, appears and disappears, appears and disappears, appears and disappears. The subatomic particle, which is the foundation of everything, appears and disappears. This is what Buddha says, not me, Buddha. Okay? And it clicked with me, I'm like, that's a bit like a pixel that's flashing on and off and on and off. What's interesting about the pixel is that it has a frame rate so quick that our consciousness, it stitches it together and creates a 2D image. Our consciousness is stitching it together and creating a 2D image. This is really important because as the pixel with a 24 frame rate is a series of flashing lights which is processed in our mind as a solid 2D object, if you add one more dimension, the subatomic particles creating the reality that we are currently experiencing, the 3D dense pixels which make up the entirety of our reality, well, they're basically pixels. So a CT scan works because it's a scan of one single line of pixels, and then it puts that together into an image, right? It's all one thing, ladies and gentlemen. Your consciousness is projecting over this holographic reality with your interpretation of this reality, and you see it the way you see it, I see it the way I see it, and none of us see it the same. Literally, not metaphorically. And it's all one thing. So there's no actual separation between you and I. It's impossible to separate you and I. We are not separate. Every single one of us are in this dense 3D reality together. How amazing! How incredible! This is the reason why I am you, you are me, what I do to you, I do to myself. I can't get around it, I can't separate myself from it because we are inseparable. So this is where... Is this making sense to everyone? Is this not making sense? Okay, great.
Makes sense.
Thank you. So we have the ancient wisdom, meaning quantum physics. So the science is the spirit that we can see. The spirit is the science that we can't see. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. It's one thing. So I had to experience this to truly understand it. And then I had to experience this through the psychedelic assisted therapy, which wasn't psychedelic assisted therapy, which is taking extreme doses of psychedelics in the Mexican jungle. But I had to experience it in order to understand and actually believe that this might be a reality, otherwise I would never have believed this. Even me explaining it like this, I'm sure a lot of you have some hesitations to believe what I'm saying, because this is very different to the way that we see reality today. Yes or no? Would you agree, or yes or no? Yeah, great, thank you. So technically we make up a part of the thing which is everything, which means we're connected to everything. And this is the reason why we are so much more powerful than you possibly could ever imagine, that we possibly could ever imagine. And this is also the reason why all of this information was held back from us for thousands and thousands of years, because it means that we can take back our power. When you remove the conditioning, and when you remove the attachments, and when you remove the traumas, you can step into your full power. When you power yourself, your projection becomes stronger. You become more powerful, harder to control, and that is not what the system wants. It wants someone who's a pawn and very easy to puppeteer. And so when I started taking back my power, I started getting more powerful, and I started seeing, like, holy shit, that's the reason why it's so easy to manipulate everyone. Because no one has their power, because you made me angry. And you made me sad. I'm just going to go do this game over here, and I'm going to smoke this fucking weed, and I'm going to work. So this implies that your brain constructs a unique reality shaped by your neural structure and experiences. Essentially, you perceive the world in a way that's exclusive to you. Another way to see this is there's 8 billion ways to see the world. Fuck, could you imagine being limited to one? How do I know this? I started experiencing different realities from different individuals. I have this interior designer who died on giving birth. Her baby died. She met God. She came back. She now sees reality very differently. She's the interior designer to all the billionaires. So she goes into those massive mansions and sits down and meditates for half an hour with her eyes open, scaring the shit out of everyone. And then she walks away, she goes, done. And then she draws a masterpiece, and that's why And so anyway, this is about 18 months ago. I'm here in Australia, up the road, at my mum's backyard, and I'm sitting in the backyard meditating with my eyes open. And a sphere and a cube, the 3Ds, appear in my peripheral vision. And I look at these and I'm like, holy shit, this is how Ivy sees. I message her, I'm like, hey Ivy, is this what you see? She says, spot on. I see the carpets, I see the rugs, I see the ashtray, I see the paintings. Just as I'm seeing you now, she sees everything. Some individuals can see infrared. Some individuals can fly. Some individuals can speak telepathically. Some individuals can levitate. Some individuals can literally see your shadow. My partner, she can see your shadow. Man, I had to clean up myself before I met her. My beautiful partner, Alice, she can literally see the root of your trauma, and that's powerful because you could use it against you, but she doesn't. She doesn't because she had to learn how to taper that, because when it first happened after a head trauma, she could see everyone's. She could see ghosts and everything like that, and so she had to learn how to protect herself. We are all spiritual beings. We all have access to this information. We are all very, very powerful if we learn how to wield it like wielding a muscle. I like to say my job is, we live in Hogwarts, we're the muggles, and I'm trying to convince you to run through the brick wall. That's my job. My job is to try and help you understand that we don't die and death is not real. Because we're infinite beings, because this is all one thing. And so what's the ramification? How does one live if they believe that that's actually true? If they live by that, not just understand it, but live by it. Because I can understand something and then not put that knowledge into practice, which is waste. You know, if I know something but don't do it, I don't actually know it. I'm not living it, and so I'm not putting it into practice. I have spent the last 3 years to become as congruent as I possibly can be. Now, I know that I'm hypocritical in some of the things I say, because I'm still programmed and I know that. Yet, I'm working as hard as I can, and the people that I work with are working as hard as they can to be congruent with the reality of the situation, not the illusion of the situation. Because if I keep living in the illusion, I'll be left behind, I'll run off a cliff. It's your mind that sees, not your eyes. It's your mind that sees and not your eyes. This is the reason why cognitive bias is so powerful. If I'm driving through the same town as you're driving through, right behind you, you're looking for food and I'm looking for, oh geez, my engine light's on, I'm looking for a mechanic. Our experience of that same reality is very different because of the inputs and outputs. Cognitive bias works because we're the ones projecting. It also works because the traumas that we faced are being removed, because anything that doesn't agree with our belief system is being filtered out of that reality so that we are protected from ourselves. That's the reason why we can't see our own shit. It's the reason why we can't smell our own shit until we're confronted with it. So if we unlearn the past, we heal the wounds, we deprogram the mind, we can reinvent ourselves. We can reinvent ourselves. What does that mean? We can become the most authentic self possible. And that is a light in this wonderful world that we live in. And we can all be that light. Every single one of us deserve to be that light, and I would say are responsible to be that light. Because now you know this information, you can't unknow it. Sorry for being here. So, I usually read this out, but I'd like to invite Shane up to the stage quickly just to talk about the experience and what it's been like working with myself in the Freedom Collective, the psychedelic assisted therapy, and the transformation that you've gone through. If you don't mind, please, everyone, a quick round of applause for Shane.
As you can see, I'm a changed man. So, yeah, look, my life took a bit of a turn midway through last year when I, marriage of 24 years, relationship of 26 years fell apart, and I found myself single, having to, still be a dad. Business owner, lead the team, look after myself. But what I was doing for a long time was running around putting everyone else's oxygen masks on instead of my own. So I was pretty empty, pretty depleted, and I had to find another way around it. So I started some ideas on what I'm going to do. First thing I had to do was change my mindset. So I went from, apologies, I'm about to swear, but my attitude went to it's either fuck yes or fuck no. There was no grey. I had to be black and white in what I needed to do. And I was talking with a good friend who introduced me to Cameron. And this was in the later part of last year, so I'd say, I think around late November, early December. And I was already on a journey going, hey, I need to change things, what I'm going to do, how I'm going to do it. I was looking for something different. I was looking for something that was more soul-filling, more building on who I am and my values. And we got connected. And I kind of strong-armed Cameron to organise one of his courses he runs in Thailand to get it done quickly, because I was impatient, needed to change, wanted to change, because I had a lot of fear. So I went on a 2-week journey there with Cameron, and I did some psychedelic treatment over there, I did some alternative therapies, and I did some bufo. Some of the big takeaways I found while I was over there, lots of epiphanies. The root cause behind every one of my emotions and fears was fear itself. Not of what's going to happen, but when I really drilled down on it, it was just fear of nothing really. It was just these stories I'd make up in my mind. The big thing I found is that we are meaning-making machines. We can stub our toe in the morning and then make it mean that we're going to have a shit day for the rest of the day. We can open an email that might have been sent with the best intent, and just because we're in a bad mood, we've then thrown that out into the world. So, long story short, I've been able to look at things in a far different light. I'm part of the Gnosis program, the Freedom Collective, and so for me, it has made such a big difference in my life that I'm able to reconnect with my 3 children in a level that I've never been able to do before. I'm present, I'm thoughtful, and I'm actually looking to them to how can I better serve them? Because I was that dad who'd get home, I was impatient, cranky, frustrated, and didn't have time for them. And what I found through my journey was those behaviours were the behaviours that my parents displayed to me. And going through some regressional hypnotherapy while I was in Thailand as well, I was able to dig deep and see that and then repair that within myself. And now I'm working on breaking the bad habits of the past. Is what I can't probably explain as best as I can, but basically I'm breaking a habit that's formed. The other big appreciation I've been able to have is I've been able to look at my parents and look to them in a way that I've never done before. I used to look to them and blame them for how I was, blame them for how my life was, and blame them for my bad behaviours, blame them for anything. But I also now have the realisation that they gave me the best they could with the knowledge they had. They loved me unconditionally with the only condition they had, you know. So I now look at it where it's my job to learn as much as I can, make myself the best version of me, so then I can break that for my children and teach them the roles and things that they can make their life better on their own. I can't change it for them, but I can give them the tools so that they go into their early lives and later on their lives and pass it on to their children. So this is pretty powerful, man. I could go on for ages, but that's, you know, it's, yeah.
Shane flew up for the last 2 speaking gigs, and it brings a tear to my eye, because honestly it's an honour. It's an honour to be able to watch individuals go through this process. Who are very happy, because you're a changed man, and I'm so grateful for that. Fuck yeah. So I'm living my dream, I'm living my highest purpose because of the work that I've done, and I can only invite you to do the same. So 95% of my life is a program running in the unconscious. How do I make the unconscious conscious? So this is some of the work that we do. I won't spend too much time on it, but the first thing you need to have is awareness. The psychedelics is for sure awareness, right? You're getting a new level of awareness that you didn't have before. Now, if you don't have this awareness, you're in denial, and when you're in denial, you can't go anywhere. You know, it really is the key here. Once you have awareness, then you can have acceptance, have clarity, then you have a choice. Listen, when you gain awareness over a bad behavior, you can choose to keep doing it. Like, I have respect actually for that, honestly. You're like, listen, I do this, now I understand it's a bad thing and it's probably not good for the people around me, but fuck it. You know, cool, whatever you want. But you have to have awareness first. If you're in denial, you can't see it, you can't smell your own crap, then that's the challenge. So when you change your programming, you change your reality. The enemy on the outside cannot harm me if there is no enemy on the inside. The enemy on the outside cannot harm me if there is no enemy on the inside. So if I'm in misery, sadness, pain, fear, guilt, any kind of misery, then there is something inside me that's telling me that I am bad, worthless, useless, not lovable, not, but whatever it is, whatever the story is. And honestly, I've pushed the limits so extreme that I've taken enough psychedelics that I understand hell exists, and I understand what it's like to want to kill myself. Okay? And no one. Sorry, Dad. I love you, but I'll see you tomorrow. Interesting time. Dad doesn't know any of this stuff.
Yeah.
Eventually he will. So, no one deserves to go through that kind of pain and anguish. And we don't have to go through that pain and anguish. What I've learned is we don't have to go through that kind of pain and anguish. There are solutions, but the solutions have been kept from us, the real solutions. I mean, clinical psychology, I have a mental health company with 12,000 hours, and I can tell you clinical psychology just perpetuates the problem. Okay? This is the reason why I have Carl Jung, depth psychologists going through hero's journey and archetypal studies and all the other stuff, because that makes sense and it conjoins with the psychedelic stuff for integration. We need it. So if the enemy on this, if there is no enemy on the enemy on the outside cannot harm you if there's no enemy on the inside, this makes you a spiritual warrior. This makes you bulletproof. Does that make sense? By the way, times are changing. So we are 100% responsible for everything that is occurring in our lives, or we become victim of circumstance or self-inflicted suffering syndrome. Responsibility comes from response able. I'm going to move through this quickly. Becoming 100% responsible, whether you want it or not, your words and thoughts become self-fulfilling prophecies. By the way, I've done like 5 bike rides across Thailand. I've raised tens of thousands of dollars, and I'm part of a group, actually, a whole bunch of individuals are in here, where we've raised millions and millions of dollars for orphanages over in Thailand. Yeah! Thank you, appreciate it. 12 years ago, that changed my life as well. So becoming 100% responsible. Who in here has been wanting to go to sleep, but can't sleep because the thoughts won't shut the fuck up? You want to sleep, but you can't sleep because the thoughts are keeping you up. Put your hand up, come on. Cool. If you haven't been there, you're lying, because I guarantee every single one of you have been there. Tossing and turning, going, oh my God, shut up, shut up, shut up. What I realized about this is that if this is happening, are my thoughts in control, or am I in control? So if my thoughts in control, that means I am out of control. I'm not in control, I'm out of control. Emotions. When anyone makes you angry, know that it is your own thought that has made you angry. If someone swears you in a language that you don't understand, you're not going to react or be offended by it because you don't understand it, which means it's your own understanding that's made you upset. If an emotion has made me angry, you made me angry, let's say. Okay, I've given you the responsibility that I have to control my emotions. So I've given you my power. I learned this with Sadhguru. After I had an awakening event, the billionaire, he said, you need to do this program. I'm like, okay. And it was like, you can control your emotions. 100%. You have the responsibility to control your emotions. And so what I saw after learning this is that we have an entire society who's blaming everyone else and taking no responsibility for their own emotions, have no control over their thoughts, and so they have no control. That means they're out of control of their thoughts and their emotions, and these are the two underlying baseline foundation for every single one of our manifestations in our life. In our entire life, and we have no control over it. So if I do not start gaining control over my thoughts and my emotions, which means if I don't control the monkey mind, and if I can't calm that down and meditate, and if it's impossible to meditate, then I'm out of control, ladies and gentlemen. If I point to someone else that you made me angry, I'm out of control, ladies and gentlemen. I have removed my ability to respond, which is my literal power. And I've gone, here you go, and here you go, and here you go, and here you go, and the addiction, oh, I can't stop doing this. Oh, fucking here you go. Oh, the you know, whatever it is. If you can't control it, it's controlling you. That's the reason why I gave up marijuana. Because I tried to control it. I couldn't control it, so I had to give it up. Because it was taking my power. That's the reason why you have an entire society that's so easy to manipulate, because basically the power is being sucked in every single direction. Every attachment that you hold on to is real. It's controlling you.
Every belief system that you hold on as real is controlling you. Every addiction. We are out of control of our thoughts and emotions, which are the underlying power to the manifestations in our lives. So, who wants to take responsibility and back control?
Yeah.
Only some of you. Some of you are like, nah, fuck it, wizard, go. That's okay.
I was
You can.
controlling my emotions.
Sorry.
I was controlling my emotions.
Oh, wonderful. I appreciate that. Keep it calm, level-headed.
About myself.
Agony and ecstasy comes from within us. If we understand this, if we take charge of this, if we take charge of the seat of experience within ourselves, what experience will be caused to ourselves? I want happiness and bliss. I want peace. I want love. I want compassion. I want empathy. Because these make me feel good. And I'm sure if they make me feel good, they'll make you feel good too. Here's another thing. The moment we change your perception, it rewrites the chemistry of your body. So this is also time jumping. So when I heal the young self, the benefit is as if I didn't have any of that wounding for the entire life, which means my cellular DNA catches up and changes. Our body, our DNA, our physiology changes. It's the reason why Shane looks different. I look different than I did 5 years ago. I talk different than I'm a different human being. We evolve. Your cells heal. Your DNA heals through this process. So the shamans that I work with, they go, Cameron, the medicine's not the medicine. Your body is the medicine. Your body is the doctor. Your body is 50 trillion individual cells that are all conscious and alive, and they're working to make you have the best experience of this reality possible, and then you fucking poison it. That's the reason why. Cameron, get out of your own way. Cameron, get out of your own way. Cameron, get out of your own way. If I can say all your names, get out of your own way. So where are you spending your time? Are you in the future, worried, past, depressed, or are you in the present moment, because that's all we have? By the way, time and space is not what we actually think it is, but that's for another day. Are we in the future, being in fear, worried, feeling anxious, overthinking, thinking worst case scenarios? Listen, I used to think it was a smart thing to think of worst case scenarios. Turns out it's really dumb. Past, are we in guilt, shame, feeling sad, depressed, dwelling on what happened? Or are we in the present, which is the only thing that we have, which is the reason why gurus teach meditation? Clarity, acceptance, joy of being, understanding, surrender. We would have time for this, but we don't today, unfortunately. You learn who you are by unlearning who they taught you to be. Who cares who they are? Just realize that you are not you if you are living out other people's programs. If you haven't looked at those programs and gone, hey, listen, I don't know if I like that anymore, or maybe you do like that. Either way, we need to question everything. There's the 4 agreements and the 5th agreement, which is beautiful books by this Mexican shaman. The 5th agreement is doubt. Have a healthy level of doubt about everything that you believe. Connect back to your dream self and imagine who you could become. If this is real and what I say and you could do anything in your life, what would you want to do? Money doesn't exist. Fuck money off. Imagine it doesn't exist and go, what would I actually want to do? What's the life that I want to live? How do I want to connect with the individuals around me, with my family, with my friends, with my community? Do I want to travel the world or do I want to create art? Whatever it is for you, I invite you to really dream and believe that you can do it. So, Freedom Collective. So many individuals are stuck in old patterns, striving for change, but feeling trapped. The Freedom Collective is the only community like this. Be prepared to rewrite your story and reclaim your power. It's a community for growth and evolution, fueling dreams with structure and support. It's a catalyst for personal and collective change, a space where deprogramming old conditioning is celebrated. Learn from experts committed to your success, find your tribe and evolve together. Why go it alone? We can do it together. If you're living in grief, apathy, guilt, shame, that is what you're bringing. If you live in peace, joy, love, and reason, as you go through this process, you increase your vibrational frequency, and guess, the individuals around you change. The things that you attract into your life change. You can't see it now. I couldn't see the... Sorry, Dad. I couldn't see the life that I'm living now 5 years ago. I had no idea I'd be here. I thought I was like some business executive, maybe talking about business coaching. There's no way I can see this. I bet many in the room who know me for a long time are going, holy shit, Cam's changed. the things that we talk about, morphic resonance, Kirlian photography, actually rebalancing the chakras. Again, this stuff is all science now. You can look at everything. So I just want to show kind of what we talk about, what some of the programs, the neuroscience behind ego death. So we have a neuroscientist, Dr. Renan Acosta, who's also done ayahuasca. He talks about the biological process of an ego death. Today we had rewiring the subconscious. So I added that, that's just a photo from today. Unlocking deep healing and lasting change with Nick Holler. Amazing. What is it like working with hypnosis? This is Chris from Brisbane as well. He's currently down in Sydney. I was in physical and emotional pain before working with Cameron and his team, but over the past 18 months, my life has transformed. I've stopped judging myself, handled situations that once caused me grief and misery with grace, and 80 to 90% of my negative self-talk and beliefs are gone. I couldn't recommend this experience more highly. Now, you can do, for sure, the psychedelic assisted therapy with us. You can come over to Thailand, Peru, Brazil. I've got people all around the world now doing this. Between 5 and 10 grand. Here it's about 10 to 20 grand. But the reality is that the Freedom Collective is a way for you to do that long term. It's the long-term change, the sustainable change, and it's the change to keep you accountable to the behaviors and the belief system changes that we need to do and we need to integrate into our lives to change. So, who is this for? It's for you if you're ready to uncover what's been holding you back. It's for you if you need real-world tools, a new perspective and a push. It's for you if you crave a life of purpose and fulfillment. It's for you if you need a supportive community who get you, who can resonate with this information. It's for you if you're committed to doing the work. It's not for you if you're looking for quick fixes. I'm not selling quick fixes. This is not a quick fix. This is not easy work. Say, if you're not prepared to look at yourself, cool, appreciate you, thank you so much for coming. If you want someone else to do the work for you and are open to self-reflection, if you're unwilling to step outside the comfort zone, it's not comfortable. So if you're not willing to challenge deeply rooted habits and beliefs, if you prefer surface level solutions, this is not for you. So I had to put some value to all of this. It's my background in business development. This is just the way it works. So we go through the onboarding. So I put $1,200. So that is the session 1 and session 2 where we go BHAG and then we reverse engineer it. The monthly practical sessions, $2,500. The reprogramming framework, $3,000. The accountability sessions, $3,000. You have me in every single one of these sessions, keeping you on board and on track. Maybe for about 12 months, maybe for 20 more months. Let's see how long I run this for. I am a big dreamer, so I have big dreams. Expert knowledge sessions. Exclusive access to leaders and specialists from their fields, $6,000. The people I get to come in and speak don't speak anywhere else. We're very lucky. Quarterly goal setting and challenges, $2,400. Ongoing support, $1,200. Networking with like-minded individuals, priceless. So we have a value of $19,300. Okay, $19,300 is what I put the value on. We have the entire calendar mapped out. I have all the speakers. On Friday, we have breathwork and biohacking with an incredible guy over in Thailand, which I'm very grateful he's jumping on to bring it forward for us. So, obviously, $19,300 is probably not very affordable for the majority of us, and I totally understand that. I'm never going to price it at that, but that is what I do consider the value of this program to be. Today's investment, $4,500. But there's more. For this exclusive opportunity, $1,995 for the entire 12 months. Basically, it's the cheapest self-development program I have seen on the market for 12 months. So you must apply and interview to be accepted into the program. I don't accept everyone. You have to be prepared, and I'll have the application call with you. There is a refundable $120 application fee, and if your application is not accepted, I'll give you your money back, honestly. So there's no risk to have a talk with me. But I do it better. Today only, so literally this session only. I like to reward action takers because I know how much we go back into the old world and the old paradigm and we get busy and we stop doing stuff. So if you do it today, the cost of entry for the entire 12 months is $1,670 or 12 easy payments of $167. And for the first 3 individuals, so be quick, I'm going to give you one of these. They're limited edition. I think I'm up to number 5. They're a beautiful leather notebook that I have engraved, Hypnosis Reprogram Your Reality, and it has your name on it as well. You have to journal in this program. So for the first 3 only, I'll see it happen, by the way. You don't have to go up to the front of the room, it's here. I don't have paper. I'm trying to save the planet. So please scan this code, apply for the Freedom Collective. It's a $120 fee. Pay the refundable application fee. There is an interview process, the application decision, and then there's onboarding as well. There's a little bit more information, but we're just going to take a quick 5-minute break, and I really hope that you've enjoyed this information that I've been able to present to you today. If you have any questions, please feel free to come and ask me. There's Shane at the back, there's Bowie, there's Aldwyn as well, Jojo's in the program as well, so feel free to hit one of them up if you are unsure. Please ask questions, but otherwise don't leave, because there's a little bit more of information I promise you want to know about. Shane.
Let's go a quick thing. So for those who are a bit hesitant around journaling, it was one of my biggest fears. I have writing that is probably worse than it's that bad that a pharmacist couldn't read it. But I journal every day, and I have completed a full book.
You completed an entire one of these?
Yes. Since January. So it's changing my life on a daily basis. So don't let that hold you back. You do get better at it. It does get easier. So yeah.
Thank you, Shane. I appreciate that. I know we're late, but 5 minutes, just a quick break. For anyone who does this, again, the first 3, I don't know who they're going to be, so it's going to be in the calls, whatever, you'll get the book. So, thanks everyone. Appreciate it.
How was that? Hope you enjoyed that. Of course, we've been here at Club Helensvale. That's Cameron Quin. ReProgram to ReInvent. I'm also in the program. It's awesome. I've known Cameron for 14 years through the Business Blueprint program originally with Dale Beaumont, and he's awesome. Amazing guy. So much more mature than his age. Wisdom beyond his years. He's awesome and great human being, and I love what he stands for. I think we need more of this. We need more of people stepping up, more of a increasing consciousness, more of taking responsibility for our lives, more of more up leveling. So I'm very grateful for Cameron. I have been putting some regular habits of getting up early, going for long beach walks, body surfing, really doing more of what lights me up, and being a lot more conscious since I've joined the program about who I'm hanging out with, about my energy, about what I'm putting into my body. There's so much that I've been getting from this program and this proximity, highly recommend it. So check out some of Cameron's work, Cameron Quin. Check him out online, or you can scan this QR code. I'll come up close and show you the screen so you can scan it. If you want to find out more or you want to apply, here it is here. Zoom in on that.
For anyone who's struggling with this, can you go into the group? I've just put it in the link in the group.
Here we go. So that's the QR code.
On Facebook, ReProgram to ReInvent live in Gold Coast. There's a Facebook event just to be able to get it all to you.
And there it is there. There you go. Check him out. Cameron Quin, Freedom Collective. Come and join us if you're feeling the call, or at least apply, have a conversation, and see if it's for you. And if it's not, I wish you a fantastic life ahead. Life is a moment-by-moment thing. It's being present here and now. It's noticing when we go into the future or the past, when we live in all those states that we have no control over, really. What happens in the past is gone. The future, a lot of anxiety there, fear for a lot of people. So really, these practices that Cameron talks about are crucial, I believe, to living a great life. I meditate regularly, I do yoga, I do what lights me up. And I love what I do, and I'm very blessed and very grateful for that. Great to see all of you guys on live too. Great to see you here. We've got Elaine, we've got May Rose, Adam, Alison, Jay, Kerry, good to see you guys. Sending you much love today. Thank you for joining us. I might start another live video when we come back after the break. So I'll see you again soon. Mwah. Much love. Let's stay connected. Find all my links in linktr.ee/Aldwyn. If you want to get out there, be seen, heard and known, then let's connect. Reach out, send me a PM. I'll talk to you soon.